starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Kryptonite Show. Your host Superman in the house. I hope you guys are doing well out there. It is going to be a most pumpalicious day today because Bitcoin has hit a new all-time highs, almost at 110,000 US dollars. It's looking pretty amazing, and so we're going to be celebrating that. We've also got PumpTires, $75 million. So PumpTires is on the move. It is pretty exciting. I'm going to look at some of the top tokens as well. That are making up the market cap. There's most token, of course, Pump, kind of the official token there, and of course, Trump token doing very well also. It's going to be pretty exciting. We're going to go through a lot of the different PumpTide categories. The other big news, of course, is printer tokens have been on the move as well. So that category is really rocking up the charts also after quite a bit of a sell-off, but on a big rebound at the moment. So we can check all that out too. Now, I had an interview with the founder of Love.io yesterday, of course, and that was amazing interview. Check that out if you haven't already. That was yesterday. That Love.io has been pumping up the charts ever since that interview. It's been pretty crazy. So up and away, as we say in the Superman world. So it's going to be pretty fun. Now get into the chat there, get lively. The other thing, of course, I want you to get to repost the show on X. So definitely do that. Let's check it out. And I'm going to post the link in the chat there as well. If you haven't followed on X, definitely hit the follow button. If you're on YouTube as well, I definitely, follow and share the channels around. It's the biggest thing you can do for any of the Pulse Chain crypto influencers is get out there and share the channels around. It really helps with the algorithms. So let's post that in the chat there. So share show on X and on YouTube, of course. But this is the link for X. And all you have to do is just take one moment and share that around. It really helps a lot. If you love daily Pulse Chain coverage, which you guys know I do, and of course have been covering for about 6 years or so, then just get in there and share it around. And of course, we've had a nice big rebrand as well with the Kryptonite Show. So it's a lot of fun. Now, we are definitely ramping things up. We've got a new X Spaces coming up and a Telegram Spaces coming up that we will be allowing you to meet a lot of great teams on Pulse Chain. So that's going to be pretty cool, and other chains as well. That's not out of the preview, as it were. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's get into the chat and see who's in the house. So we've got Sean O'Malley. A big shout out. Let's pump, baby. Absolutely. It is a pretty bullish environment. And of course, we're still early. It's still really on that takeoff phase, waiting for altcoin season to respond to the big Bitcoin move, right? So it's pretty exciting. We've got Brennan as in the house as well. Yeah, boy. Pump it. I love it. That's what we like about crypto. And we got the property review says Trumponomics. Absolutely, Trumponomics. That's a great phrase there, property review. We got Steve right in the house there. You just keep getting better and better at what you do. Thanks for helping us all, says Steve Wright. I appreciate that, Steve. That's a very lovely comment. So big shout out to you, Steve, Santa Barbara in the house. We got Brian, one of our two community leaders. Big shout out to Brian. He's been on a road trip recently. He's settled down at the moment and, of course, enjoying the Bitcoin pump. Almost $110,000. We're going to check it out. I think it's actually going up live while we're actually talking about it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We got Hedgehog in the house there. BTC all-time high. Woo! Let's go. And, of course, it's just getting ready to rumble. You guys know this thing's going to start really running away with the old Bitcoin. So don't be surprised where it's going to be heading this year. 150, 250, 400K. It's got some big targets on its back, so to speak. The bulls are on the move. And Brian's excited too. All right, so that's pretty cool. Let's get straight into the show. We've got a few little, channel things to talk about first, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's get on here. Here we are on the old X platform, and we can see that the show is on. So definitely share that around. Really would appreciate that. And that is the link once again there. Share the show on X and, of course, on YouTube if you're on YouTube as well. We're streaming to 3 channels on YouTube and, of course, on X. So a lot of fun. All right. So, Bitcoin hit 109,898. We're going to look at the live price of that coming up also. And, of course, we did do some pretty big stuff around yesterday around Love.io. So let's go back down to that quickly. If you haven't checked out that show, Love.io, check it out. And the price of Love.io seems to have been rallying ever since we did that show. I don't know. You decide what's happening there. But pretty exciting. Now, the other thing I want to talk about also is the strategic ETH reserve. So obviously Pulse Chain got listed at number 2, which is pretty exciting. So that was great news. There you can see it there. Pulse Chain SAC is now confirmed at number 2. So pretty cool. Underneath the Ethereum Foundation and above the Coinbase Foundation. Ivan on Tech was talking about it because he was saying, it's not really the people's wallet, so to speak, but is it the people's wallet? He wasn't really sure. And of course, it's pretty exciting to be there, right? At number 2. And of course, we're expecting great things there. The other big thing, of course, I did a big shout out for all these Pulse Chain influencers coming back. It is a beautiful thing to see, right? A beautiful thing to see. And wow. Look at that. I mean, the band is back together. Great to have these 3 Pulse Chain streamers back, shining some light in alpha. And of course, the Pulse Chain army of hundreds of streamers is going to be a force to be reckoned with this bull market. And of course, we've had, Crypto Heartbeat, amazing person. Some godly wisdom out there, insights as well into the sort of geopolitics, and of course, crypto. So big shout out to Crypto Heartbeat. Wonderful to have him back. As well. We've also got Jimrak Crypto out there, Crypto Fitness and Inspiration. And of course, he's coming back doing this thing, and I love it. It's got a lot of youthful vibes. So big shout out to Jimrak Crypto. And of course, he's doing some great stuff there. So check him out as well. And then we've got Gerardo, another big, these are all big influencers that we've had on Pulse Chain, and they're all back. Just shows you that things are turning. And of course, innovative platforms, crypto and charting. And of course, he's got some new alpha out every day these days. He's really doing a lot of great stuff out there. So big shout out to Gerardo there. All right. So that was some of the cool stuff there that I posted out just overnight, which I thought was pretty good. And of course, let's get into the poll that we've got as well. Now, you guys know we've been covering the awesome stuff from Heart with Dog around viral animation on Pulse Chain, or anime on Pulse Chain. And of course, with animation, comics, and stuff like that, it's been fantastic. We want more of this sort of cool art on the Pulse Chain ecosystem. And of course, there's a vote on at the moment to vote for the next 4 characters. So next 4 characters being Crypto Coffee, Saint Wolf, Caled on Crypto, and Money Gang Crypto there. So far at the moment, we've got a battle between Crypto Coffee and Caled, but who knows? Saint Wolf and Money Gang Crypto could come out of the blue there. We've still got 2 days left to go on this poll. So definitely get out there and, basically make a vote and also share, right? So share, vote, and share poll. And this is Dog. This is Heart with Dog. So I'll just post the link there. I think you guys get it. So we're going to post that link and definitely get out there and, vote, vote, and share it around so that other people can vote as well. That will really, really be helpful there. All right. And who knows who's going to win in 2 days' time for the next big character. And, of course, the Pulse of the Fallen, which is the anime series there from Heart with Dog. So check that out. The other big thing was Heart with Dog was on Crypto Coffee show yesterday, and what a great show that was. So if you want to get more anime content from Heart with Dog and, of course, the Pulse of the Fallen, definitely check out Crypto Coffee's interview with the Heart with Dog. Pretty cool stuff there. We've got more coming from the Heart with Dog today. We're going to see some more coverage as well. Got a very cool post coming out soon that's going to be covering some very cool aspects of Pulse of the Fallen, which has been, chapter 10, 1 to 10. So we're going to check that out later on. Keep your eyes out for that. All right, so that's some of the cool stuff that's happening. But I want to talk about today is PumpTires. And before we do that, we're going to get into the stock market and, of course, Bitcoin and, of course, Ethereum. So we're going to be covering a lot of that cool stuff coming up first, and then we're going to get into PumpTires, right? So that's kind of how we're going to go there. All right, so let's jump into the stock market, and don't forget to get in the chat there as well, and ask any questions or make any comments about cool things that are happening in crypto or Pulse Chain. That'd be really, really cool. And I'm going to come back to a couple of those comments that are already there very shortly. So the S&P 500, as you guys know, falls as rising treasury yields offset Alphabet jump. So Alphabet was jumping. S&P, though, offsetting them. So we did have a bit of a pullback second day in a row. Last week was very bullish, if you guys remember. The beginning of this week was kind of bullish, I think. But, we've had a bit of a pullback today for Wednesday's results in the US. So Dow Jones at the moment down 1.9%, 817 points to 41,860. The S&P 500 down 1.6% at 96 points, down to 5,844. And the NASDAQ down 1.4% at 270 points. Down to 18,872. So a bit of a hit today on the old stock market there. And, of course, Treasury yields surged to pressure sentiment. Treasury yields rose sharply on concerns about economic growth, while a weak demand for the 20-year Treasury auction stoked fresh selling in U.S. sovereign fund bonds amid fresh signs that the recent knock to investor confidence in US amid policy uncertainty remain front and center. Now, this is a particular view, of course, of investing.com. They are left leaning. Just take that into account when we're reading these things. Investors have remained on edge over the US economy after Moody's downgrade credit rating last week, which I think is a bit of a Democrat ploy in itself, because all the reasons that they said were also pretty much true for the most part for Biden, right? So, and of course, we know the tariff idea is really a tactical play, and of course, a little bit of a revenue play as well, to reposition the world for a better U.S. economy. So, it's a bit of a game there by Moody's and probably a Democrat group. Democrat friends, they meet up the old country club and say, hey, let's do this, let's do that, and we can undermine the presidency, right? That's kind of how they play the game. While Congress prepared to vote on a sweeping tax cut bill backed by President Donald Trump, and that is hyper bullish, right? That is a hyper bullish move, and so that's what we're looking forward to there. On the trade front, investors were holding out for more trade deals between the US and major economies. A host of reports showed high-level talks between Japan are set to resume this week, while negotiations with several other countries are ongoing. So we may see an in-principle deal with Japan over the weekend, or we might see a couple of deals flow into next week. And of course, I'm expecting a lot of deals through right through to the end of June, right? Before the 4th of July, we've got to have probably most of the top 15 countries in the world out by then, right? So that's kind of the play there. And we'll probably have a lot of the smaller ones. There are a lot of deals to be done, right? Under 15 countries or so. So it is a pretty big workload, but they'll get to a lot of in-principle deals before they get into the big fat documents. They're a couple thousand pages, some of these documents, so it will all just depend on the country at hand. So that's kind of where we are. China added to the risk aversion by warning that US chip exports controls threaten to undermine a trade truce reached in Geneva last week. And the other big thing, of course, is the big Star Wars defense shield, right? That China didn't like that. But the point is, if the US doesn't do it, they're going to make themselves weak, right? And if you're going to shut down aggressors like China potentially, then you need to have great defense. So that's very important there. They have to continue on with that defense shield there. All right. Well, we could have needed it down here in New Zealand and Australia too, right? Because the Chinese decided to send a naval armada. Remember that down a few months ago over to Australia and New Zealand, do some live fire as well. And they're telling us we don't need a defense shield. Come on. We need a defense shield, all right? But that being, we need a defense from our own governments before we even need a defense shield against China, I guess. So there's a good argument there too. They are destroying our countries right now in the West. You're lucky to have Trump in the United States. All I can say. Our leaders are destroying our countries, but we're moving on. We're going to move on. Let's get to Bitcoin. And at the moment, we've got 109,000, almost. We've got record Bitcoin right where we're live streaming. Isn't that awesome? $109,977 right now as we speak. And we did hit 110,788. So that is pretty amazing. That's on the weekly chart here at the moment. We've got a big golden cross going on the week, as you can see. Isn't that playing out beautifully? That is gorgeous. That is Bitcoin on Coinbase. That's the weekly chart. So these are weekly candles. And look at that golden cross. We just keep going up here. We're about to break up to new territory as well, from the looks of it. Now, the other one, of course, let's have a look on the daily chart. And we can see that we've also got a golden cross playing out on the daily. And here we are, right? So busting out. We almost had a death cross. Of course, the market rallied out of that. And here we are moving up to a new highs. We've just reached out this previous high back on the 20th of January. We had $109,358. And now we are pushing over 110K. In fact, we're right 110K right now as we speak. 110,000 US dollars. Isn't that insane? So game on here. It's just getting warmed up. Like you say, once you move over 100,000 US dollars, you start moving at bigger increments. So this is going to be very exciting. Remember, a re-rate of Bitcoin to gold market cap is probably about a 9 to 10x from here. And of course, that would get you up to probably about $27 trillion market, give or take a couple trillion. It really is nonchalant at that point. So this is where we are. So it's pretty exciting. With the old Bitcoin there. Yeah, 110,000 US dollars, record breaking Bitcoin right now as we're live streaming. You can't do much better than that for content. That's all I can say. Now, we've got a couple of comments about that in the chat there. We've got Craig Pittenhouse. Morning all. Thanks for the Alpha Suit, man. It's a pleasure. And thanks for being here. I mean, community is number one for sure. Feed and Greer is up at 70%, says Brian. What's that going to happen when you get the price pumping, I guess? Glad to see them all come back. Glad to see you back too, boss. Just kidding. You've never left. Been here pretty much every day the whole time. Just saying that's true. That's true. I've been streaming just about every day. Bar a few days, not many days. They haven't been streaming over the last 6 years. All right, so let's get on here. We're up $110,000 US breaking price. Now let's look at some of the drivers, some of the key drivers of this. Of course, is the Bitcoin ETFs. And of course, they launched last year, wasn't it? 10th of January, I think it was Bitcoin. And here we are racing away. Look at all these green candles of ETF money coming in to the Bitcoin, and the price is rallying. Look at that beautiful stuff here. So we've got tons and tons of inflows here. $1 billion days. It's pretty awesome. Last couple of days we've seen, a couple $100 million. It's been pretty good. Coming in here into this, so keep a lookout for that, because we're probably going to get even bigger candles on this, these green pump days as the price of Bitcoin goes up. So very, very exciting. We can see that some of the big ETFs, IBIT, FBDC, they're making big moves here as well. So very exciting times ahead for us. I'm sure the ARKB will move up as well, but man, these ETFs are on the move. All right, so that's kind of pretty cool. So we're going to keep a like out. We're actually going to keep that chart up today, because it looks like it, who knows, it might just even push even higher while we're streaming, right? So that's the key thing now. The other big one, of course, is Ethereum. And of course, Ethereum at the moment is, lagging a little bit. Of course, we're waiting for the altcoin season. It's going to be brutal, I think, when it happens. It's going to absolutely be pretty fierce. So at the moment, we've got Ethereum there at $2,550 at the moment. It's trying to get over this 50-day moving average, right, here on the weekly. And so this is pretty important on the longer time scale. But let's have a look at let's look at the daily scale as well. And let's go on that one. And we might have to reset. Let's see. So we're auto dated already. So this is the good news. We have been for several days. We are over the 200-day moving average, which is currently 2,444. So this is very good. We're really consolidating here, and I think we're about to move to another high. We're about to pop up there. When we do pop up here, it means that the golden cross is coming up. That is going to be hyper bullish. So if we do pop up here, get the golden cross happening with the 50-day that's in the yellow, which is currently sitting at $2,160, we get that crossing over, we could really have a hyper move here on the old Ethereum. And of course, that's what we expected. If you remember a couple of weeks ago, Fat Sammy as well was in the chat there talking about it, that we could see a doubling of the ETH price within a month. This is crypto after all. Things turn around pretty quickly. So very, very excited about that. Very bullish indeed. Not sure if Brennan's in the chat there, but if Brennan's got any views on that, let us know. So that's kind of where we're heading. Pretty bullish, right? Pretty bullish. Now, let's go to slightly shorter time frame on the 4-hour. As you guys know, it's kind of the trading view, and we can also see that we're doing pretty well on the 4-hour. Also, riding up that 50 EMA on yellow. Then yellow there, that 50 moving average there. So that's 50 periods, right, of 4 hours. So pretty cool. Everything looking pretty good there. And like I said, we're not going to leave the Bitcoin chart alone, because it does look, it's very, very bullish, like it's really trying to push even higher. So very, very exciting today. I mean, yesterday we had a move that was, pretty fierce. We had a move. We came off a low of 106,000, moved up to 110,788. So it's been a pretty awesome move. And we got a brand new candle here. So let's see where we can go from here. Another big rise. Start pushing to that 130 to 150 mark, right? That's kind of when we're heading, I guess, towards that mark. All right, so cool. Now we're going to get into Pulse Chain updates because obviously that's the title of the video is $75 million PumpTires market cap. And of course, PumpTires there from the Richard Hart team looking pretty amazing. There are a good bunch of PumpTires. I don't know, maybe 15 to 20 PumpTires that kind of have a decent either small, medium, large value. So we're going to talk about that. And of course, some of the big market caps are represented by most Pump and Trump token. So we'll check that out as well. They're not very easily engaged communities from what I can tell, but most has their community, but the actual getting into some of the other protocols, they definitely are pretty open and engaging. So we might talk about quite a few of those as well. Let's see who else has jumped in the chat there. Frank White, hey, bull mode engaged. It is. It's true. So true, Frank. Engaged indeed. So big shout out to Frank White there in the chat there, and of course all the island crew out there doing pretty cool job. So we're looking forward to covering more of Ireland in the future, no doubt. All right, so let's get into it without a sure thing. Let's go into Pulse Chain. We're going to be talking about it because it's pretty exciting what's happening with Pulse Chain. And of course, here we are. We've got Pulse Chain slowly creeping up. Now, are we going to get God mode candle? What do you guys reckon? Get in the chat. Do you think we're going to get God mode candle very soon? Because he knows what Richard Hart was talking about. So let's hear from himself about it.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment because it's easier to get them because it takes less economic energy because there's less of it for sale.
There we are. So that's from Richard Hart himself. You got to feel pretty bullish, right? So are we going to see that? We're sort of creeping up in the charts here. So it's 740 days since Pulse Chain was launched on the 13th of May, 2023. A couple of days, 3 days after it was forked there on the 10th of May. And here we are, 740 days later. The price of Pulse at the moment, quadruple 044. We already moved over the resistance, which has become support, no doubt, which was 4,200, right? We're now at 4,400. So really, we are on the move. Up 4% today. Pulse X at the moment, quadruple 0412, up 3.66% today. We may very have a lag move as well, like where it's like 24 hours before we get some big, double-digit gains. But man, it is on the move here at the moment. And of course, the 1.41 trillion Pulse X bought up and burned. 7.14% of the public supply is gone burger. It's gone burger forever. And that is pretty powerful stuff. So Ink token at the moment, $1.98, almost over $2, up 2.2%. And the supply, of course, you guys know, has been thinned out down quite a lot down on the old incentive token inflation. It's now about 2,600 ink per day. So there we go. It's all been set up for the pump, right? You guys know that, right? So I've been saying it enough for times for the week. We've got Hex at the moment is at 9,200 a penny, up 2%. And we've got EHEX at 2,700 a penny. Oh, no, this is very much likely to be the last stock. If it's not accumulating it now, you might regret it later on. But, do your own due diligence. It's not financial advice, all that good stuff. I can only say that so many times. But we really are at this point now. I mean, you can see Bitcoin's 110K, for goodness sake. So there we go. We got Hex there, a combined price EX and PX at 1.2 cents. That is the mark at the moment. So a nice little green day, very modest. But, maybe over the next 24 hours, we'll start to see a double digit on the move there. All right, so that is kind of where we are there. The gas prices, 2.7 million beats, 4 cents for a Pulse X swap at the moment, and moving to validators. Validators at the moment, 47,000. So we've been slowly creeping back up. We lost those 3,000 validators about 2 weeks ago or something. We've both slowly been climbing back up. I think we're up about 2,000 now. Reclaimed about 60 to 70% of the lost validators here. So it's slowly creeping up there. And like I say, you better get your pulse while you can if you're going to be validating, so you can earn that sweet stuff. Now, there's lots of different alternatives like Validator X and stuff like that, but you know how it rolls. Now, the bridge, where are we? Have we hit 100 grand yet? 100 million, sorry. No, we're at 97.4, pretty similar to yesterday, down 200K actually. So we're just waiting for that just to take off. It's going to go over, it's just going to pop over 100 million, probably tomorrow. Next 24 hours, something like that. It's going to get there. So looking pretty exciting, 97.4. Now, we've got 22.3 million DAI. We're going to keep a track of that, trying to keep an eye on that. Obviously, we've got USDC and, of course, USD Tether bridged over from Ethereum. And, of course, people talking about Richard Hart Bitcoin, right? Richard Hart Bitcoin. How much Bitcoin has he got? It's going to be pretty interesting. I know it could be pretty exciting. Is he going to bring Bitcoin over? I mean, if he's got a decent bag, how big is it? Some people have talked about him obviously being a billionaire independently of, let's say the association with any of the Pulse Chain treasuries, I could now call it. But is he going to bring any of that over? Because if he is a pretty big, large, a private owner, and we definitely know he owns some, then it's going to could be pretty amazing. There's lots of things he could do. There's obviously the AA Ethereum, right? That's swimming out there too. And of course, then there's the Magic Cup, right? So lots of different levers potentially that Richard Hart could move. And of course, it's been many years that's could have been potentially earning some mad gains there as well. So it'd be interesting to see what he does on that space. All right, so that's kind of where we are here on the old Pulse Chain. The other thing, of course, we've got, PUSD ALGO. I'm still waiting for that. I'm very bullish about where that will head as a big algorithmic stablecoin. Could be the holy grail with the old stability miners. And, of course, if you guys want to get a 90% referral bonus plus a 2x bonus if you do $1,000 inclusive of the referral bonus, the link is in the video description, and that is coming up. Now, I think Signum Oracle's got to be pretty close for that to happen. But Stu said that he'd fixed the bug. He'd been testing hardcore, so that's got to be just around the corner for the old Signum Oracle. So we're going to try and keep track of that and wish Stu the very best on that one, as well as Jacob with PSD Algo. So it's pretty cool. Now, that is pretty much it on the markets. Now, as you guys know, I want to talk about PumpTires because that's the title of the video. And, of course, this is coming out from Gerardo. So it's great to have Gerardo back, bring his data analysis in the house, which has been pretty neat. Frank White says, I imagine a giant green candle is coming soon. Yeah, me too, Frank. And LFG 5555 says DJ Hickson, absolutely. So a big shout out there. If you guys are watching on X, don't forget to hit the follow button on X and also share the channel around. It really does help. You guys know I'm rebuilding from the beginning, because that's what we do in the Polstream community. When we get taken down, we step back up and rebuild, right? So my old account, which would probably be quite large by now, it got taken down for no good reason, as usual story. And so let's see this rebuild back. So definitely refollow, follow and share it around. All right, on the old Kryptonite show. And of course, here we are. Gerardo's got this post out. Richard Hart's PumpTires has created 75 million in market cap, hence the title of the video today, and 2.3 million in liquidity since launch. Some cool stats. Total RH meme coin market cap is 22.4% of user-owned PLS market cap. That's a pretty cool statistic. Coin dominance obey the power law distribution as well. Within that, and of course that's 67% on the market cap is most token, 25% is pump token, and 3% Trump token, and so on. And you can see for yourself on look into pump.tires/RH-memes, which is the link there, and you can see a print there. But we're not going to be looking at the print. We're going to go to the website, and we can see it right here, right now. Right? So I want you guys to go show some love over there to good old Gerardo, and say that you saw this on the Kryptonite Show live. So we're live. We're live. I got to get that meme voice. We're live. I'm going to get that. That's happening today. That is going to be priority. MBS, it's a priority. We're going to say. All right, so that is where we're going there on that one. So definitely show some love there. Get in the comments, a repost, all that good stuff, and give Gerardo a follow if you're not following him. He is back streaming again. PDI to $1. Yeah, we're going to look at PDI as well, because that's been on the move, right? On the move. All right, so there we go. That is pretty exciting stuff happening there. So let's look at the actual rankings. We've got most token at the moment, and that is got contract address. They've got the prices, we've got the market cap and the liquidity, and we've got all the links there as well. So beautiful setup here on Look Into Pump. .tires. This is just another great platform from Gerardo. He's got a whole ton of different really cool informational sites. You can definitely check that out too. He's obviously got the big NFT market too, Mintra. So you can check that out as well with the Mint token that's trading. We should probably have a look at those at some stage soon. We've got PumpTires at number 2. There as well, 469,000 market cap. Trump token, they're 161K. We got DAI there. There's PumpTires DAI sitting at 156K. We got Hex there as well. PumpTires, these are all PumpTires, remember. 63K. Pepe there, 57. Solana, 58,000. BDC, 49. ADA, 46. Doge there, 42. Mars, 42. I mean, there's lots of ones here. SUSDC, 38,000 market cap. Ethereum, 35. There's all PumpTires. Elon as well, 35,000. Pulse there as well, 33. PulseX, USD Tether, Tron, and of course XRP and XRP there. Now, interesting enough, there's a lot of PumpTires that are not even on here, which is pretty interesting. So they're probably, I'm thinking, he's going to get a bit of feedback on here. But at the moment, this is his list that he's got of these tokens. So pretty exciting. Now, you guys know we've got our own curated list. In fact, I think I've got that running up here. So let's have a look here. So he probably is missing quite a bit of the market cap there, just noticed. But we've got our own list of PumpTires, which we would add in a few extras, right? So we do have PumpTires there, but we've also got Teddy Bear. We've also got Best Everything. We've got obviously X Game and a few others here. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens with those. Probably needs to add those in there. They've got some of them have got significant market caps, right? Firewall as well, and a Cry token. We've got the One Meme. And of course, we've got a few others here as well. But many of them, of course, we've got extra ones that are not even on this list. So there's actually a bigger market cap than that. So it's a good first go, let's say, on the Look Into PumpTires, and probably needs to add in quite a few of those others there as well. But, a pretty awesome list there at the moment. But it is definitely missing quite a few tokens. So if you're out there, Gerardo, might want to add a few more of these other PumpTires that are of, reasonable market. Don't have to worry about the little stuff that's just not doing anything. But definitely there are other protocols out there. But nevertheless, 75 million minimum is where we are at on the PumpTires, which is pretty exciting. And we've got some pretty big stuff out there as well. So, I mean, just looking at some of these here, some of these still got some pretty big market. Firewave, for example, 763K. So if you put that on the site here, that would put it at number 2, pump number 2 there. So there are some pretty big, market caps in the old PumpTires ecosystem there. In fact, let's have a quick rank this by market cap. We got obviously most up there, PumpTires. We got all different ones here. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff there. But great new site. Looking forward that to evolve as well as we move forward on Pulse Chain. It's definitely, some of these cool metrics around the fact that it's like 22%, and obviously we can play with those numbers, shows how significant some of these PumpTires that launch. Now, there's tons of tokens that launch on PumpTires that don't go anywhere, right? They're just tons of them. They don't even make it to PulseX, right? Every cat and dog is, as I say, every cat and dog is minting a PumpTires, but only so many of them become king of the hill, and only so many of them end up migrating to PulseX. And of course, only so many of them will have they'll have big excitement. Only so many will have excitement at the beginning. We make some pretty big gains, and then only so many of those will end up having community back around them and be sustainable, right? So it's probably going to be an interesting thing to see, around meme coins, particularly on Pulse Chain with PumpTires. But that is pretty cool site from Gerardo. Looking forward to the evolution of that towards a fulsome representation. It's a pretty good first go. Probably just missing a few things there, but big shout out for that. All right, so that is probably where we are there. Let's go to the total market cap on Pulse Chain at the moment and break that down as we move into some of these cool things. So we've got, obviously, let's go to, we just missed it there. Let's reset and get into some of these. Don't forget to get in the comments as well. PulseX says, we need RH live. Do it live. Look, I think it's this. The only thing holding back probably is the Interpol and, of course, being tracked, right? Streaming. So that's probably the only thing holding back. And as lawyers will be working feverishly on that. Rack and Michelle kind of alluded to a little bit of things happening around that too. One of his posts that he made online. So yeah, I think never know. It could be coming. So he's not going to miss streaming on the bull market. I don't see that happening, right? He's got a big plan ahead. And so, he's not going to be missing out on this market. I mean, this is the moment. This is the moment where you really shine. So I don't suspect that that's going to happen. And of course, he's in for glory. And for glory, he'll be back streaming, no doubt. Pretty good comment there, though, PulseX. Let's go. Good stuff, man. Our time is coming. Time is coming, yeah. And it's pretty much, the market's moving, the Bitcoin's moving. That's key. Key for lifting all the value. Like Bitcoin's like the ocean, and everything else kind of like a big ship, and the ships can get bigger and smaller, apparently. It's a dynamic world in fantasy land, but that is kind of where we are. And we're live. And we're live indeed. All right, so that is kind of cool. Let's have a look at the top movers at the moment over the last 24 hours. And I told you, I did an interview with the founder of Love.io yesterday, which was with Anders. And, of course, he's also working with XUSD as well. And, of course, based out of Phuket at the moment. And look at Love.io has been rallying ever since. And, of course, it's up 38% in the last 24 hours, sitting at number 2 on the default view on Deck Screener. How about that? Is that crazy? So Love.io absolutely doing well there. And we did an interview yesterday. I can't believe it. And that is fantastic. So I hope you guys picked some Love.io up after that interview. And you made 38% mad gains, number 2 there at the moment. But number 1 at the moment is a new token, only been around for 11 hours, and that is Cakeus, and that is Cakeus Maximus, and it's up 10,900%. Liquidity only 28K, so I mean, I say only, but it's small relative to some of the big bulls. But 136K volume over 28, pretty epic X's there on the volume to liquidity ratio. And that is ticking away there. Now, you guys, I'm not endorsing any particular new token. This is what's ranked at number 1 at the moment, so just remember that. But there's no description on there as all there. This is the website. We'll have a quickly look at that and just see where that is going. And there it is, Cakeus there. It's got the old Elon Musk, Emperor Cakeus Maximus on the back there. So the ultimate meme power there. It's not a common token. It's a cultural symbol. What else we got on there? I'm just looking at Cakeus aims to create a fully decentralized value consensus through humor culture. So that's kind of where it is on there. Native compatible Pulse Chain, K-Engine modular contract. So you can check out all those details there. It says it's got some applications as well. MemeFi NFT system, possibly. Cake Relics and on-chain governance as well, Cake DAO. So it does look like it may have a full sort of ecosystem here on this meme. So keep a lookout for that. But at the moment, definitely on the move. So it's got some applications as well and a roadmap too. So you can check that out in good time. It is moving up today and is up at 00014. You have to check out the market supply, the community behind it. It's got a Telegram group, stuff like that. So you have to get involved on all that. Let's have a quick look at the X space and see what's happening there. And let's have a look at that. I don't know anything about this team in particular, so just take note of that. So not endorsing for sure. So yeah, you can check it out. They've just got one to the general one, I think, on this one. So you have to be cautious about that. All right, so there we go. Let's see. Number 3 is I told you not only were PumpTires on the move, but printer tokens from OG WebChef on the move as well. Beast here making finally a bounce back from after a pretty aggressive sell-off. Is now back up at $1.45, up 35%. Number 3 at the moment on our top list, which is pretty cool to see. A Tropo from James Maria on the move as well, up 30%, and that's doing pretty well. We got Missor as well, another OG printer token, up 28%. We got Surf, which has been around for 13 days, been doing pretty well also. That is up 26%. We got Remember, another OG WebChef printer token. I could have quite easily had the title of the video on printer tokens today because they're all dominating the charts. But of course, I thought that was pretty cool from Gerardo talking about PumpTires market cap. And of course, even though I think that list needs to be updated with quite at least a good probably half a dozen to a dozen other projects in the PumpTires space, which I think are valuable. That is a great list. So I look forward to that being developed. We got G Baby in house there at 25%. We got Die Hard there, obviously on the back of PDI, and that's up 20% as well. We got Steak Teeth at the moment, up 18%. Teddy Bear as well. So we got a Tropa and we got Teddy Bear there, or Bear token there from James Maria on the move as well, 17%. Dominance, of course, another printer token up 15% as well. So you can kind of see the tokens. We've got Love on the move. We've got a Tropa, James Maria on the move. We've got OG WebChef on the move. Those are the ones really dominating the top 20 tokens at the moment. Then we've got some of the other really, I think, fantastic ones that we've got around. XUSD Vibratile asset. You guys know I interviewed the whole team like 2 weeks ago. You can check out that video as well. That is up 13.7%. We've got some more PumpTires in here. Solana, of course, up 13%. Pulse Puppy as well. Treasury Bill up 9% there as well. XUSD ecosystem, Treasury Bill there too. We've got Time Dividend, and this, just like all the DEXs, once we start getting an altcoin run, all our DEXs and aggregators most likely get completely re-rated, and they're going to be some of the blue chips, right? The blue chips, and Time Dividend's one of those, right? With not just the wallet, but also with the swapping and the dividends to time holders, right? Because the volumes are just really swell, and the time dividend, it's not going anywhere. So, it's just going to be just increased return, right? So it's up 7%. Load token as well. All the liquidity forks that we've got will also probably get re-rated. Power City, Liquid Loans, they're all probably going to be on the move once we get this altcoin season humming. Of course, they've kind of been, left to the sidelines at the moment. But a lot of the DEXs and the loan token, they've been, coming up every so often. But 6% there at the moment. So you might want to check out some of those for the longer game, right? When the market really starts to get that altcoin season. Now, Top Hat from Crypto Coffee talking about influencer coins. Obviously, Crypto Coffee's been back doing some great streaming. Arguably the number one, in my view, the Pulse Chain influencer. Obviously, we've got a good probably half a dozen that are up there in the top echelons. But amazing ambassador for Pulse Chain. Up 6%, and of course, Top Hat doing pretty well lately. We saw the big ETH buy with 555 ETH going to buy some Top Hat, along with PDI. And of course, Top Hat there getting a lot of love. So up 6% at the moment. And of course, Crypto Coffee doing a great show with Heart with Dog, and of course, covering the Hog character there in the Pulse of the Fallen anime. So that's been pretty exciting too. So a lot of good coverage there. And he looks like he might very well get his own character. Keep a lookout for my X stream, X flow today, because you'll be seeing another post on that. It's going to be pretty cool. There's 9mm. We're talking about 9mm. That is up there, up 5%. Another, obviously, the second biggest DEX behind PulseX, excluding, of course, any stuff happening with the PH Universe protocols there as well, like the Balancer fork. All right, so we got Hidden Vault there up as well. That is up 5%. Dow token there is doing pretty well. One of the PumpTires. We obviously got PulseX. We got PDC the Greys. Now I do consider PDC the Greys one of the blue chips already. So that's been doing pretty well. They've got a massive amount of influences behind it. Most notably, of course, Prairie Banana out there doing a great job. They're up 3.5%. GoPulse managing out to hold on to 10 cents. It's kind of just been sitting around 10 cents, isn't it? With the old, obviously they've got lots of different features and on their platform, up 3% at the moment. And what else? The APIN Pulse is also up 3% there. SolidX. Now we're going to get a lot of action from SolidX very soon because they were expecting to launch within 2 months, which is probably more like 6 weeks now. We're waiting for that casino license. Obviously, SolidX with the big fire whale, right? So fire whale, one of the big whales on Pulse Chain, and that is up 3%. So don't shade some of those. Obviously, Sun Mini Meal is still doing extremely well. Not on the leaderboard at the moment, but man, it is still holding up 3% gain today, 24 hours after that big run up. And of course, took a lot of people off guard, but not me, because I was the only one talking about it, really, because it's a big deal, right? Yeah, it is up strongly. And look, we're going to get great things happening from Sun Mini Meal. We're going to have 4 on ramps, and then of course the corporate buy and burn. I don't think people quite understand how bullish this coin's going to be. And of course, I talked about it potentially being the first $1 trillion corporate coin on Pulse Chain. And that's no joke. Their target is to go from 70,000 up to 5 million holders or clients, let's say, or customers to Sun Mini Meal. At the moment, I think this is going to be huge. And that would include not just retail, of course, but you'll probably get institutional buying and all sorts of stuff over that time as well to get you up to those big numbers. And so keep a lookout for that. And that's going to lift the whole chain, right? Because all that value is coming onto Pulse Chain through 4 different on-ramps. And of course, the corporate sales, 20% sales on the buy and burn, pretty epic. And it hasn't even started yet. So just take that into note. Now, it has a big rally, still holding up pretty strongly there. And it's got a non-stop buying flow coming in. A little bit like what we saw with Love.io with the sales from, Lafayette, do we call it Lafayette? And of course, that's their big sales shop. And of course, that has sales, buys coming onto Love.io and of course Pulse Chain ultimately. So we're getting all these really cool ways of bringing value onto the chain that aren't just the usual bridge over and buy. We got direct on ramps now coming on Pulse Chain. Pretty exciting. PMX 500 has been doing pretty good lately. They're still up 2.7%. Mafia from Jacob. Of course, we're excited about PUSD ALGO coming, and of course on-chain bet also coming later in the year, September I think it was. And of course, Mafia there up 2.6% at the moment. What else? We got quite a few. Those are top 50 at the moment. They're all up, 3%. But man, we're not even into the hardcore moment. We're waiting for like pretty much all the 100 lists to be up double digits, right? That's kind of what we're waiting for. Those 30-40% days in a row, 7 days in a row kind of thing. And that is what we're waiting for. And would a gold cut will a God mode candle lift us up to that glory, right? Will it God mode lifts us up to that glory? What do we reckon, Richard? What do we reckon?
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment, because it's easier to get them, because it takes less economic energy, because there's less of it for sale.
Let's bring that on, because I think it's coming. I think it's coming, guys. So definitely do that. Now, if you are watching for the first time, don't forget to smash the follow on X. And of course, share the channel around for the Crypto Night Show. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to smash the subscribe button and smash the reshare as well. And of course, hit the bells for future videos as well. Only takes 1 moment to do that, so I really appreciate that. Don't only do it for this channel, but also for all the other Pulse Chain and crypto channels that you do like, because we are getting ready to rumble. And if you want more people to pump your bag, then impact the algorithm for all the influencers out there. Obviously, we've talked about having Gerardo back, Jimrat Crypto back, Crypto Happy. These are big influencers in the Pulse Chain community. They were all top 10, 15. I mean, we're talking, the top tier. We might have maybe 250 influencers, and that's probably going to grow, right? We're going to get probably tons. Probably reasonably expect that to be double what we had the last bull market in 2021. And so we're going to get lots of new streamers in the space, lots of young faces, lots of older faces. It's going to be everybody, male, female. It's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, it's great to have some of the heavyweights back, which is a great bullish sign in itself, right? So, and they're all wonderful people doing wonderful stuff. So definitely check out all those streamers, because they're all pretty cool. You get something different from everybody, right? So kind of cool. All right, so the Amish kid says, yeah, the kickiest one is a scam, sadly. Yeah, so be very careful with that, because, like I say, I'm not endorsing it. We just checked it out. So thanks for that, Amish. All right, so I think we have Jim Rat Crypto. I think he might have popped in there. There he is. P died to $1. To $1. Jim Rat Crypto House, big shout out to you, and doing some great stuff there. So awesome. All right, so I just wanted to bring up the Pulse coin list, actually, because we're going to go have a look at P die to $1. And of course, that is having a great time at the moment. So let's see here, P die to $1. And here we are on the chart. So a big shout out to Pulse Coin List. Probably won't argue, if you're after like an ecosystem information platform, Pulse Coin List is the one to go to, because they have all the tokens. They've got the ecosystem maps and everything else. So definitely pretty good. I'm going to post the link to this in the chat there. Check that out. So show some love as well. Get on X, do the usual. You guys play a huge role. The community plays a massive role in the success of Pulse Chain. So definitely get out and do that. All right. So here we are at the moment, 3/100th of a penny on the old PDI to $1. I gotta get. Maybe I need another meme for that. I'm gonna have to get a whole ton of new memes. That's all I can say. We're gonna add that in. All right, so here we are with the PDI to $1. Now we had all the big drama back here, right? The old shutdown of PDI maker. Mostly shut down, PDI maker, and that was from the magical spell from XUSD, right, team? And it was quite a bit of drama there. Now, if you had picked up the bottom on this, which if you'd been in our Discord, you would have. We were in Discord watching this live, and we were all like, look at that. There's an opportunity. And look at it rise up now. Woo-hoo-hoo! 3/100th of a penny now. It's back on the move, of course. Pretty exciting. So where could it go to? So obviously off the bottom here, we are pretty much up, how much? We're up, 2,000% basically. Let's do the bit of average rounding there. 2,000% in 36 days. So it's a 20x. So pretty mad gains there. Congratulations to those in the house that picked that up. Pretty awesome. But definitely get into our Discord. We got a strategy club, man. It's only $35 a month. People are charging thousands of dollars out there for strategy clubs, and you're $35. You get all the alpha, man. Who's covering the Pulse Chain every day? Yours truly, right? So get out there. I've got a top 10 list on Pulse Chain there that's been performing like a boss. You want to get in the strategy club? I do monthly updates there as well. Not just Pulse Chain too. I do multi-chain, and of course, definitely get in there as well. We have strategy chats all the time, so it's a really great value for $30 a month. So get in there on that one. And of course, we also got the community membership at $12.50 as well. So join up to that today. So all pretty modest prices to getting some of the best alpha out there, particularly on Pulse Chain and crypto, and also with the community members. And that's the number one, right? The community members are amazing in there. You're going to meet some great people with some great knowledge. And we got people that do all sorts of things. So you're going to get a really good time in there. So join up today. All right. So where's the all-time high? Well, the all-time high back here was back on the 29th of November. And it was pretty awesome, right? So we got up to 3.4 cents. So we got a nice little move to go from there. In fact, from where we are today at 3/100th of a penny, we got a nice little move just to get back to there of another 10x. So there we go. Maybe even 11x, arguably. So that is where we could go to. So keep a remembrance that it can happen real fast. The re-rate. Look how fast this re-rate happened here, and this was only within a week. Look how that rally happened. So we could easily start doing that here. So pretty exciting, especially with Bitcoin rallying so hard, right? So we're on log scale now, just to give you guys a log scale view. That is where we could be going to very, very quickly, right? And of course, PDI to $1. Once we start getting back over 3 cents, it's game on to 10 cents. Once you get 10 cents, people start believing to $1, right? So who knows? Who knows where it could go? Now, probably the big catalyst is that you are going to need some protocols like the Better Bank, of course, this modified fork of Aave out from Nikki out there. And as I understand it, there may be a few protocols coming in to support PDI to $1. So we may very well see all that stuff happen as well. And that said, we've also got these other, competitors, these good die from Medium. We got the PumpTires die as well. So there are a few little micro communities out there, but this is the behemoth, right? I think we can all say that the PDI community in the Telegram is one of the biggest, most active out there. So they are pretty ferocious in there. So this is where it's going. They are not giving up, and you can see the chart is telling you also that it's not giving up. So there we go. That is the old PDI. Now, obviously related to PDI is a lot of the other forks, particularly protocol forks. So we have a look through some of these as well. And let's see, we got any more comments here? Brennan says 2,000% easy money. It says Brennan, easy money. Yeah. Join up to the Discord today. Absolutely, Brian. Absolutely. What's it? Everyone's coming back, says Brian. It's not their first cycle anymore. That's a good thing, says Brian. That's true. Lots of learnings happened there for sure. All right, so let's jump over into some of these other coins that we've got. Just going to scroll down very slowly here. I don't want to go too fast. Obviously, Trope is up at the moment, but let's get down into some of these other ones I'm trying to hunt down here. USD Tether. So this is obviously these kind of move together. They got different main pairings as well. XUSD is paired with some things, Atropa is paired with some things, so you'll have to go and match those all up. But that is kind of where we are. I think USD Tether was matched with Treasury Bill, if I remember rightly, and that is sitting at just under 0.2 of a penny at the moment. So that is moving up, 2/3 of the PDI or PDI to $1 to $1. That's kind of the key there. Now let's have a quick look down a bit further here. So scrolling. I wanted to find. Let's see. Keep going down here. Let's see. We'll find it. We'll find it in good time. We've got another die here. I haven't checked what that one is, but let's slow down here a bit more. Let's see. Yeah, we've got the Aave token sitting at 25 cents at the moment. Let's have a quick look at the Aave token. Another fork protocol, and yeah, it's up off the bottom too. So let's have a look where that's come from, all the way back to a similar date, the 16th of April, when we had the PDI mostly shut down thing. That's up 2.8x at the moment, so up 179%. But that might run away too. As you can see, we had some pretty severe moments in the old Aave chart as well. So we may see some of that at some stage. The timing, of course, is always difficult, but that could happen. In fact, most likely going to happen, right? So let's see. We're scrolling down a bit further here. Those are the ones that are on the list at the moment. We must have some on page 2. Let's go. There's 1,208 pages. So we're not going through all those, of course. Access Alive. Hey, look, we talked about Top Hat from Crypto Coffee. We've got Access Alive. They're sitting at $6,600 at the moment. Yeah, let me know if you've been tracking Access Alive and see what's happening in that space. They've got obviously sort of their index between a couple of different influencers like Crispy Man, Firewhale, was it? Not Firewhale, Fire, was it? Fire, Hex Fire, something it is. And of course, that is doing there. They've also got their third token as well. And of course, they're associated with Firewhale, right? So Firewhale stuff too. Let me just scroll down a bit further down here. Just let me look to see whether we can find a few more. Yeah, we've got Maker at the moment. So let's check out Maker. Obviously, the side of PDI. And that is at $5.55 at the moment. So, it's still ticking away there. And we'll see whether we get some re-rating of this. No doubt we will if PDI is going up. So that is also there at the moment. Let's scroll down a few more of these as we do. We got the Radon community there. Big shout out to Radon community out there at the moment. If you're in the Radon, let me know in the chat. Shout out to them. Let's see here. Scroll down a bit further. We've got Lido here. We've got Lido. So Lido DAO token and another fork protocol. That is currently at 2,500 a penny, so quarter of a penny at the moment. It's somewhere between USD Tether and USD PDI, right? That's pretty interesting at the moment, so kind of cool. It also is up a little bit from the 16th when we had all the drama, and that is up 116%. So not too bad there. That might get pretty re-rated pretty quickly. Also is the old Lido DAO or LDO. Let's see what else is down here at the moment as well. Let me know in the chat if you want me to actually particularly search for any ones. There's quite a lot of them. There's quite a lot of these exotics. There's a lot of the staking versions of these tokens as well. They're all getting pumped at some stage. Chainlink. Let's have a look at Chainlink at the moment as well. So let's have a look at Chainlink. So Chainlink at the moment is at 0.2 of a penny, so pretty much around the USD Tether price there as well. Now, obviously, they'll have different supply numbers, but and older distributions. Is up 228%, so 3.3x in 36 days since the big event on the 16th that we saw with the magic spell being cast on PDI Maker. Or apparently not completely, but mostly. Let's say mostly. All right, so we got True USD there up almost just on 0.2 of a penny as well, up 46% for the week. So let's scroll through a few more of these. There are a lot, right? In fact, we might, if I get time, I might make a big list of some of these. I used to have a list because it got wiped. Remember that? Got wiped. It's hard. It's tough. Deck screener sometimes, it's great, but you can lose a lot of stuff. So that's we went through a few of them. There are others though, right? So there are others, and I don't think we saw USDC there on that list, but it must have been there somewhere as well. All right, so what is that? We got PDI there paired up as well. XUSD paired with the USD Tether, and USDC I think it's all by its lonesome if I remember rightly. But we might break that down too at some stage. All right, so PDI they're on at least on Point Colonist. You can see PDI and Atropa they're both on the leaderboard there at the moment. So there we go. big shout out to the Pulse Coin List for that. All right, we're 55 minutes on the hour. We got Bitcoin still at 109,766. So we haven't had quite the breakout on the live stream. It's breaking up to the upside, but not another one. It hasn't moved another leg, let's say. Johnny in the house there. Hey TJ, hope you're doing well. And a big shout out there. If you guys are not following the channel, smash that follow button on X, and definitely share the channels around. I say not just for this channel, the Crypto Night Show, but also for all the other Pulse Chain channels you're following, or even crypto shit channels. It really does help a lot. If you're there at the moment. So easy to do. You can just hit the follow button. Doesn't cost you anything. And of course, if you're on YouTube, definitely smash the subscribe button and share the channels around as well. Also, I think, if you've got friends and family and you think that they're going to benefit from crypto, now's the time, man. Altcoin season is pretty close. The timing is perfect. Timing to onboard people. So definitely, give them a heads up. It's time to get on. And for those that may have, sometimes takes a little bit of education to get people to realize what crypto actually means, but particularly at the moment in this time of the cycle, but definitely time to, making some of your family members and friends potentially very well off in a few months. So take note of that. Right, so again, do with that what you will, but that is kind of the alpha there. Now, let's quickly go into this video again that you guys know I love, because the bull market is upon us. And, we'll listen to a billionaire that does a very good presentation of it. So let's check this video out as well.
Not a mystery. It is a repeat of the debt cycle. They are rolling the debts. They are doing the same thing each cycle. It's not to do with a halving cycle, nothing to do with any of that. It's all driven by liquidity cycle and funding of debts. Each phase, we get phase one of the banana zone, banana number one, the corrective zone, banana number two comes, another correction, banana number three. So this is the banana zone. So that's what happened in 2020, 2021. Off we go. Sorry, that was 2017, which again looks very similar to this one. That was the last one. Here we are now. It can't be clearer to me. I've shown you the macro evidence, the technical evidence, the sentiment evidence. Everything here suggests to me that hold on to your hats. Don't fuck this up. Don't lose control of your tokens. Don't use leverage. Don't get your wallet hacked. Just sit with it. Be careful. Don't get FOMO. Do all of the right things, and we'll go up to the next phase of correction zone. That's going to be harder, because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, is it over? And you'll definitely be sure it's over, and everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over. By our work, we suggest that because of the elongation of the business cycle, because rates were higher for longer, the forward-looking liquidity suggests that, again, probabilistically speaking, without any guarantees, this whole thing goes into Q1, maybe Q2 of 2026, which would align with Trump's, trying to win the midterms as well. So everything's lined up for us. I think it started. So keep the faith, keep building stuff, and let's keep driving Siri forward with all of this. Thank you.
All right, so you can see that's a pretty big deal there at the moment. And of course, that video just shows you exactly where we are in the market. I think we are really on the precipice of greatness. Here we are with Bitcoin on Coinbase. It is going through the roof right now and just about to break that next level. We're at 110,000, trying to push higher here. Pretty exciting stuff. I suspect that we may very well get that Japanese in principle deal over the weekend, if not next week. We could get one or two big deals, but they're going to be really rolling those out over the next few weeks. That's going to really feed the market with the whole world trade being reset, so and to the upside. So I think it's going to be pretty exciting to see that. Here we are, $110,000 at the moment on Bitcoin. What a fantastic way to finish the show today. We're 1 hour into the live. I think we're going to wrap up there with the pretty much the all-time record for Bitcoin as we finish. What a great place to finish there. I hope you guys have loved the show. And of course, don't forget, I'll catch you on tomorrow's show because we're going to be back again. So pretty cool. We're going to have some pretty cool guests coming up as well. So it's something what you're going to look out for. So enjoy the magical Bitcoin. That's what I can say. Have a great day, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye for now.